It was jumping back and forth. There were times when G2 Hell were on top, there were times when Geo Aurora were on top, both of them were at the enemy's base destroying all of the objectives there, so I would say yes, I want to see LeBlanc banned out for two reasons. First of all, for G2 Hell to have a little bit more stability, and second of all, to see Liliana play on something else, because I want to see her play on something else.
No, I'd like that too. And again, we talked about the Senna Yasuo. That is still ban-worthy as far as Geo Aurora is concerned. Pantheon going to be another ban for Senna. They still don't want her on these bruisers. The Bel'Veth banned away for Karina as well on carry junglers. It looks like, fortunately or unfortunately, I guess, depending on your school of thought, we might be heading towards a very similar, if not the same, draft, if nothing else, based on these first three bans, Sofchan.
Yeah, let me even grab the other draft, because it's interesting to see if that's going to be the case, because we mentioned that for G2 Hell it could be a good choice to just have everything just as it is. So far what we have similar is mostly, gosh, everything.
Yeah.
What we're missing, just the Rek'Sai for the side of Geo Aurora, if that's going to be the last one in the first ban phase. And it makes more sense to me for G2 Hell to do the same strategy that they were doing, perfect back-to-back, than it is for Geo Aurora to me. Because if you do go a back-to-back in regards to split pushing, commit to it. You have the composition, do it fully. Okay!
Eita, we got the ribbon!
It's locked!
What? It is not a hover? No way.
Is that a holder?
When was listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Yesterday I was playing a game against Raven. It was a very painful one, but I had a thought. God bless Raven not being in the professional meta, because I don't have to cast games with her.
Or so you thought.
Or so I thought.
And again, it looks like these are being drafted in order. Xerath being taken away from Tifa. So this time around, not going to get to pilot it, even if she wanted to. Okay, so it looks like we're seeing a little bit more traditional from both of these teams. Not as much Static Shiv mania, although I guess, I don't know, Victor and Seraphine, they don't seem like Static Shiv abusers to me, but I'm willing to throw all my preconceptions about this item completely out the window. Sofchan, we're getting a little more kind of front to back 5v5, and I think, for me, most interestingly, Lysia on a carry.
I'm so excited about it. Oh my god, I am beaming, because it's so different. I mean, you said it, it's traditional, but for these two teams we see here in front of us, and considering Pathfinders 3, that is out of the box. No, don't lock that in. You're not gonna do it. Don't do it. Okay.
Oh.
Wait. Oh, okay, that's fine. Wait, what?
Seraphine Karthus bot lane?
Ooh, it could be. No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. Yeah, Karthus bot is absolutely a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Solari, you've got a great point there.
I would love for it to happen. This is a callback from a couple of seasons ago, but that was a thing, and that is a powerful thing, and I love that for Geo Aurora, Karthus is still an ongoing thing.
Yeah, it's not exactly where, again, these picks are in order, so it isn't necessarily the draft order, so I imagine Geo Aurora probably locked in the Karthus early on, right? R1 or R2 like they have been doing, and then opted, okay, well then we'll go the Seraphine and the Ribbon maybe later to switch things up. We'll see what sort of support they put it with. The Rel makes a lot of sense, give you a little bit more frontline, a little bit more hard engage, because again, with the Xin Zhao, it's not really hard engage, it's a bit more secondary. Rivet has some CC, but you don't want to be starting fights with her, so that, for me, is one thing that I worry about a little bit with this composition. As interesting and as high damage and enchantery as the Geo Aurora composition is, starting fights is going to be a little bit trickier, Sofchan.
Wow, let me spend just a second here getting the analysis going in my head. Okay, so strategy to hell, incredibly straightforward. Of course, we have Lysia on someone that's going to be more of a duelist, dealing more damage. The Viego also very focused on that early game. Massive. Karthus securing that late game split push potential and lane shoving potential. Awesome. Victor, team fighting. Okay. And then we have the other side, which I'm going to put here so I don't miss what it was. Geo Aurora with the Riven, Xin Zhao, Seraphine, Karthus, Rel. I don't think I've seen a lineup like that in a while, you guys. And I would say that they have a good, very, very solid mid game. Their team fighting is exquisite, extraordinary. When you land something along the lines of Rel getting the engage, as you said, 4x4, you want her to be in the front line, then chaining up with the Encore and just hitting everyone up until the back line, that is huge. But it's a lot of AP damage, so is it going to rely too much on the Riven? Is it going to be a thing? I'm interested. I'm interested in the itemization, for example.
Is it going to be static shift Seraphine?
Stop.
Oh,
Stop.
don't-
Put that in video.
Don't you stop.
How dare you? Solari, I want to get your thoughts on this other draft, though. A little more standard, a little more traditional. Kind of, gives me 2021, 2022 vibes from that draft on the left. But look, it worked for a long, long time. You've got late game insurance, an early game, snowballing jungler that can make things happen. This is much easier to execute from G2 Hell as they look to push it to a serious clincher in game 2.
It is a lucky draft for both sides, because either of the sides would have been dead in a good team fight if only there was more tankiness in front lane on the other side. Right now, for GO Aurora, they have a little bit of their own front line because Xin Zhao is going to be Bruiser Age. Rel, of course, is going to try to build up as much buffiness as possible. Riven is not going to be that easy to kill, plus they have the Seraphine on the back lane to support them all with the shielding. As long as there is no tankiness on G2 Hell to sustain all this damage flying their way, GO Aurora should be fine. The same, however, goes for G2 Hell. Their only front lane right now is going to be Nautilus and Gwen the moment she starts healing up very nicely. And Viego, if he has a very successful early game, can be sort of there on the front lane as well. But again, that would have been a dead team composition if only there was somebody to absorb all their damage. Right now, in this sense, the situation is kind of balanced between both of the teams. That is why it would be really hard for me right now to predict which draft I like more. I have to say I like G2 Hell draft more just because there is no Riven there on the top lane and I have a personal beef with Riven, and because it is, as you said, 4x4, a little bit more traditional. It is something you just know works, especially when all of these things are combined together.
Well, yeah, Sofchat, I'm going to give it to you. Any last-minute draft analysis? I like the points that Solari made. Yeah, look, you've got kind of half a tank on both sides, top lane bruisers, but, man, Santa, if there's anyone that on GO Aurora you say, look, give this person the ball, they're going to go get a bucket, I want it in Santa's hands.
Yes, I agree, but I would say the same thing about Cosmic, because we saw Karina be in the Karthus, and now this time it's Cosmic. I am so excited to see, so interested how that's going to play out. The Karthus potentially with the Seraphine bot lane would make so much sense, but I agree with you, 4-4, they needed an engage, so the Rel is perfect for me. There is something interesting as well about the choice on the Xin Zhao, because having it use the ultimate, you could potentially just get people like the Gwen, like the Viego, and the Nautilus away from your teammates. So that is really huge. I enjoy it because then you have a similar motion of Kiana going in as the Rel, getting the knock up, and then the Xin Zhao just knocks everyone back. While anyone that gets knocked back, Riven is like, hello! So it's just a very interesting potential scenario that we'll see that depends on how it's going to be fed between the both junglers, Viego and Xin Zhao, that can do well in the early game.
Yeah, a lot of early game power for both of those junglers. Impactful ultimates at level 6. A lot of kind of nice, neat little breakpoints to check in with for these compositions. G2 Hell are one game away. This could be the last game of the day, but not if GO Aurora have anything to say about it. Solari, Sofchat, let's hit the rift.
We are hitting the rift for potentially the final time, Solari. And if this lasts 50 minutes like the last one, I think I am going to be absolutely destroyed at the end of the day.
Oh, to be honest, absolutely the same. Last game was something, and this game, I have a feeling it might just be the same, to be fair, because look at these picks, look at these drafts, what is that? But, you know what? I asked for a change for Lilian. I got the change. It is a completely different champion from LeBlanc. More than that, Cosmic is playing on a completely different champion, which is something that intrigues me the most in the draft of GO Aurora. Because Cosmic in the previous game showed us some incredible moves, incredible control of a champion. Karthus is not about that. Karthus is not about jumping around, kiting, and dealing damage at the same time. He is about standing far away and dealing. You saw those numbers from Crane in the previous game, exactly that amount of damage. So I really wonder if Cosmic is going to show us this versatility in her gameplay.
I wonder the same thing. Sana and Lizia were staring at each other down in those bushes, definitely aware that the other one might be there. But Solari, things might be looking towards another 50 minutes, because I don't feel like either of these teams is particularly stompy in the early game, like run you down on 17 minutes.
Not really, no, or at least it shouldn't be like that. If you look across the map, everybody wants to be scaling up as much as possible, except for things like Xinjiao, for example, because he's not exactly the scaling. He wants to get things going early in the game, but Seraphine is fine scaling. Karthus wants actively to be scaling. Victor and Sivir, exactly the same situation here.
Love the positioning from Kiana, standing in front of Blue. They are very close to getting that level 2. They managed to go in just as the level 2 hits Kiana. Ignite taking her down, while the boomerangs are also swiping on their faces. She is very low on health, but still have a couple of... Well, actually, used all of her potions, out of potions now, but still have the support item.
It is the repetition of what we saw before, with a lot of aggression coming in from the bot lane, especially from these supports. Kiana is incredible in the skirmishes and teamfights, especially when the level 6 hits and the Magnet Storm is available. She goes in like there is no tomorrow, but then there is Columbable, and if I would not like to stand against somebody with a hooks, it is going to be Columbable, because her hooks hit every single time. I don't know what G2Hell do to their players, but Columbable, she doesn't feel human sometimes with those precise hooks.
It's so true, Solari. There might be something they're eating, might be something in others boot camps.
Maybe that's sparkling matcha tea or something. Oh no, wait, there was... Oh no, yes. I've heard it from somebody before the game, but I think it was Karina actually, and not G2Hell's side.
Oh, okay. That's very valid. All right, we have that deep vision coming out from Geo. Aurora was placed by Riven just at the top jungle. Here in the bottom lane, they're just being very careful on how they go forward, because they want to freeze the lane to allow Blue to have as much place to just be bullying Cosmic just by the sheer presence of the Nautilus.
That is exactly the idea here, but also the idea for Karina on the top lane is not clear yet, because Sana has been pushing in, but on the bot lane, look at Columbable going again, but this time right onto Cosmic. The Glacial Augment is going to do quite a lot, but it's not going to be enough at Lysia.
Yeah, getting engaged here, a lot of damage raining on her head. The HP bars on the side of Geo Aurora are still standing. Lysia is going to be the first one to be taken down, but a 1-for-1 is enough. Is it going to be another one? Sheena takes Karina down. So it's a 2-for-1 in the top lane for G2Hell.
All right, that was such a good reset though for Sheena, a very nice one. Whenever you have a Viego in a team, you always have to look at the other team and decide who needs to be the first prior in the team fight to take them as a reset for Viego. That was a good one, but right now for Kiana, that is so dangerous there, that health bar.
Who would have thought? Those boomerangs are very sharp indeed. Oh, goes in straight into the dive, and a flash forward from the support to keep her standing. Kiana is the one to be taken down, but very, very close to taking Columbable with her. Oh god.
That was so
very close.
Very, very close. I don't know. They don't let us breathe in this game. And look, that Karina is on the same mission, maybe, for Lisa? No, not really. Okay, fine. We have room to breathe in, breathe out, so it's fine. Let's keep going. What is going on in this game right now is dominance of G2Hell. As much as you can call something that is only 3-1 dominance, this is still just the first minutes of the game, the 5th one, and Cultist is getting in the gold. Remember, Cultist is all about getting as much gold as early as possible. That is why, pretty much regardless of which champion she picks, she always was going to try to start with a call. It is stacking up for her. She's getting in the gold, she's getting in the minions and the turret plates. Cultist is very efficient at getting in the gold influx for her, going at all times, and that is dangerous for Go Aurora, and they need to stop it.
Yeah, G2Hell looking for something here in the mid lane. Sheena has the wards. All this river is light up blue. And the Scuttle Crab as well, taken by G2 Hell. Columbus rotating 2. This might be something with a counter gank for Karina, going invisible. Going on to Karina, doesn't land the stun. Karina going very low on health. She's going to go down, even though the Encore hits 2 people. And another kill goes to G2 Hell.
This is about comfort picks for G2 Hell in this game. There are quite many comforts for these players, but definitely when you see Tifa playing on Victor, you know she's going to feel very fine. It is pretty much, you know, some of those champions that she can autopilot if she wants to. Can Columbable autopilot herself onto GO's bot lane right now? She doesn't want to, but if she wanted, she could. And you can see already, G2 Aurora are really stepping back away from her because the kill potential on Columbable plus Caldius right now is way high for them to do anything about. Caldius really needs to try to find safe farm on the map somehow.
Yeah, and they're denying so much for the Karthus here. 38 CS against the 56 for Caltis. Again, just by the sheer presence of Columbus Blue on the Nautilus. It's just very dangerous. And look at that. They gotta be so careful about it. Because freezing the way they are allows for ganks coming out from Sheena. And they really don't want that to happen.
No, and I can see exactly why they don't want it to happen. But right now, what needs to happen or not happen is the first Drake of the game, because we have the Chem Drake. Not the best Drake, but at least we're going to be relieved from the potential Chem Drake soul in this game. G2 Hell having so much advantage on the bot and pressing it even further could be the ones trying to go for it. But right now, what was that Columbable? You were not supposed to hit that hook, but she did. And this is Cosmic down. However, Columbable dies herself. Kiana is securing a kill.
Unfortunately for Cosmic, not having that level 6 really damaged her, because there could have been some extra damage from the ulti helping on that team fight. We see Sheena coming here, rotating for the top lane. Have they been spotted? Yes, there's been a ping from the side of Geo Aurora, while Karina standing by for a potential counter-attack if necessary. No vision here in a tri-bush. We'll see if there's going to be an overstep from Gwen. Doesn't look like it, while Sheena rotates for this Herald alongside Lysia herself and Tifa. So it's going to be a concede on the first objective of the game for G2 Hell.
And who's going to stop them? Right now, nobody. Geo maybe would love to... What? Those moves are scaring
Where did
me.
you come from?
Exactly, just somewhere from off the screen, suddenly a wild Columbable appears and you gotta run away, and I wanna run away from my screen as well, to be honest, because I feel like I'm going to get hooked myself and then killed immediately after.
Through the screen.
But right now, look at that. G2 Hell lost a little bit of their pride on the bot lane. Finally, Cosmic got some free farm happening for her. And this is finally a sign for GO that they can go for the Drake and have at least some sort of an exchange on the map. They're getting something, they're losing something, but this is looking better for them than before if they take this Drake, and it doesn't look like anybody's stopping them.
No, Solari, it does. Geo Aurora looking to get the first Drake, Chemtech, Logitech G Drake of the game. And one thing that I found interesting, Solari, and correct me if I'm wrong, I saw them being very safe and freezing the lane from the side of G2 Hell in the bot lane, but that just gave them space for Geo Aurora to push in for the Drake.
Yes. The thing is, it is pretty much the same with Sivir and Karthus. It is really hard to freeze the lane against them, because if they're given free time, or just any freedom on the lane whatsoever, they are going to destroy completely your freeze, and they are going to push in quite successfully. Cosmic is still in a very big disadvantage right now. There's only 58 minions compared to 93, and obviously no kills whatsoever on her compared to 2 on the Sivir right now. But she needs to keep farming, and she knows that, because Karthus is all about getting those levels in. And so far, Cosmic has only died once. If she doesn't die anymore, he can even go as far as disregard this pretty big gold difference between the AD carries.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Solari, because when you have the rest of the gold coming in for Cosmic in the form of those shoves, we just saw it happening. They got the Drake, transitioned, shoved in the wave. We know how Karthus can just clean up very easily, so it's not something that the Karthus is going to be struggling with. Herald most likely going to be popped into the spot lane, maybe a little dive beforehand. Kiana, why are you face checking that? Okay, you got a knock-up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. 3 people and an ignite onto Kiana. Cosmic is also here. Harold is backing them up. The hook lands, and both of them are going to go down in a very, very swift manner. The ultimate will hit, but Columbus Blue is a tank. Quite a lot of it of resistance, and they don't take anything. It's a 2 for 0 for G2 Hell.
And almost a turret down. It could as well be a turret down right now because Cultist is still dancing around, and she is exactly going to take the first break of the game, and it's going to be a massive lead for G2 Hell. Even if you look at goal difference right now when the turret goes down, this is 17k for GO versus 22k for G2 Hell, and Cultist is right now bearing the vast majority of this gold lead for the team. Having so much gold, going to recall right now, most probably is going to come back with an almost completed item. Has completed her call, has completed her first item, the Kraken Slayer. This is a Cultist that is feeling so well in this game, and nobody in GO can compete with her right now because I am not seeing any completed items there on anybody, including Cosmic.
Yeah, there really isn't. Tifa, though, in the mid lane is going to potentially solo kill Lilian, forces out the flash. Karina and Columba Blue come out for the backup, but still, it was such a very close goal. Back in Columba Blue, but you don't want to be that close to the turret. Aggro is most definitely going to hit you if you stand too much. Kiana is there to help as well, and there is no Herald on the board, but they're going to keep on pressuring. G2 Hell is all over the red side jungle.
This is a different G2 Hell from what we saw in the previous game. Previous game was quite a lot about back and forth.
God.
What? No, Columba, you have to stop doing that. That is illegal. This hook. Somebody please check her PC. But Sunny is on the backline right now. Kiana is jumping in immediately with a Magnet Storm, and this is going to be a kill for Sana in the end. Another knock-up, a beautiful one from Kiana. She's dead, but was it worth it? Not sure, to be honest. Not sure whatsoever. It's a double kill for Kiana, but does a support really need a double kill when Lizzie is getting the kills in the process too?
Oh, I thought that was going to be much better when I saw Sana going in over the wall with the flank. I had much more expectations of that coming out positive for Geo Aurora. Turns out, well, G2 Hell has a big lead at the moment. 5,000 gold on 13 minutes. The platings are still there, and they have built quite a lead.
It was a nice lead. It still is, to be fair, a nice 6k gold lead right now. 13th minute. This is 10-3. As I was saying before this crazy fight started in the jungle, this is a different game from the previous one. G2 are really pushing in the advantage. They're making sure that the scaling this time never hits GO, and hopefully it hits Cultist instead as the only one on the board. This is the game where G2 really want to be pushing in. They want to be aggressive and dominant throughout the whole game, never letting the gold craft slip in favor of the enemy team. And this goes very well with the narrative that 4x4 was talking about in terms of G2 Hell. They are the avatar. But unlike the avatar, when you need him the most, he does not disappear. Instead, G2 wake up and show us exactly what they're made of.
Yes, they do. 11 seconds for this next Drake. Columba Blue going out for an engage straight out the bat. Sana in the back line trying to get Sheena out of the party, but Columba Blue is going to be the only one getting decimated on that team fight. Sana is still with her ulti active, going to deal some damage onto this Drake, and at least it's a good trade, I would say, getting the first Drake. Oh, actually, the second Drake of the game, which is a sort of similar thing that we saw from Geo Aurora in the past game, Solari.
It is a very good Logitech G Drake that they got, an Infernal Drake, and this soul is not going to be the Cloud One Soft. We have been freed from all curse. This is the Mountain Soul, a very beneficial one for whoever gets it, but the Herald is going down for G2. Look at the teleport right above them. Kiana is dancing around. Nobody has taken the Baron yet. No, Lizzie has already, and she's going in, and everybody's going in. Sunny is dancing around. Sunny is smashing Cultist down. Columba is going crazy with a depth charge right onto the enemies, and Kiana is very low all of a sudden. Who got you like that, girl? It is the enemy team. It is Tifa coming in with a big girl damage. And look at Karina. Karina is trying to fight back, but Karina is dead. So might be somebody else, but no damage yet on Karina, on Cosmic, sorry, to do that.
That was a 4-4-3 for G2 Hell, and unfortunately, because of the lack of the damage and items that we have seen, because of Cultist being so far ahead compared to Cosmic, really just makes the Cathar's falling behind, doesn't it?
It does, and that is so unfortunate. Denying Cosmic Farm is such a good idea from G2 Hell, such a great move from them, because you could see in the previous game what Karthus was doing, and all the previous games from GO, what was Karthus doing, farming non-stop in their own jungle, in the enemy's jungle, on the lanes, on the enemy champions, everywhere, because Karthus really needs this gold going and the levels going. This time, Cosmic is going to take a lot of time to get accelerated.
And that is such a huge weight that Geo Aurora has on their pockets now. You can't afford to have all of that, especially because Cosmic is running the Karthus with the Collector. So you want to be taking those bounties, you want to be taking those stacks, and so far I don't think that must be much on her hands with just 1 kill, 2 assists. But Colombo Blue, again, just being such a massive presence around the map. I would say I see her more than I see Sheena around the map, which is insane. Herald popped in the mid lane, Solari, and Sheena, as I speak of her, going on to Senna. Help as well from Lysia. You have your ulti available. You still waiting to use it at the right moment. The stun hits, and the 2v1 does not end well for Sana, and a kill for Lysia.
It was very close though. It was very, very close, because you could see poor Viego going down very quickly and very dangerously, but no, in the end, Sana cannot really fight too many people right now. Her build is far from being complete. She basically, what Riven wants, this is like the only thing I know about Riven, apart from the fact that I hate her, but the other thing that I know about her is that she wants the ability haste, as much of it as possible, and she's not really getting too much of it. Right now, she needs more to be able to jump around the enemies and kill them on the spot, but this is Sana. What you cannot take away from her is incredible knowledge of how exactly to move your champion, how to execute this micro gameplay, and she still showcases it to us even when she dies.
It's very true. We saw that happening with the Olaf in the previous match. We're seeing this now with the Riven, but unfortunately that is not shining as much, considering that is the only lane that has a gold advantage, Solari. Geo Aurora is behind on all of them, aside from top lane. And the other ones, even up to 2.6 thousand gold behind. That's not faring well. And the stats overall, 4, 2, and 5, 6, 1, and 6, 2, 0, and 2. That is a little worry for Geo Aurora coming out to potential game 3. Is it possible, Solari?
You know what? I have seen this gold start somewhere. And I have seen it in previous game. It was the same there. GO had an advantage on the top lane, but everywhere else it was the advantage of G2 Hell that they were firmly securing for themselves. Which means right now I am worried for GO Aurora, maybe not for Sana so much, because she's dancing around deep and she's dealing a lot of damage. But Columbo somehow missing. Okay, this woman can miss. It is a human being. We have confirmed it right now. Thank you very much, Columbo.
Confirmed, Columbo, not an alien. And Senna scripting on the dodges. That's the one.
Exactly, yes. Exactly. We have exactly that situation, and the situation on the mid lane where GO are looking to waste to transfer it into the Drake, because 20 seconds is going to be up and a teleport is coming in for them, and Sheena is running away from them.
Yeah, Karina on top of Sheena. Tina. Tifa is just right there with Colombo Blue. Some names just really look very similar. Alright, third Drake of the game, the Logitech G Mountain Drake is on board, and that is going to be our soul of the game. There's going to be a fight right here. Karina going in first onto Colombo Blue. Can't really do much, and even use their ultimate to very little effect, dealing some damage on the Drake. But the rest of G2 Hell is approaching. Sana has cleaned out the ward. Very good. But a TP on the backline, and Colombo going to flash forward, and the hook gets them in a very bad spot. Lysia with this flank might just be the salvation for G2 Hell in a fight. They keep on standing. Nobody dies as yet. Just now, Countess takes down Karina, as they have very big presence for the Drake. They managed to get it, but I think the Karthus at least kills one. But a flash forward again. Karina, actually Kiana going in, and just one person surviving, but at least one kill for Lilian with an output of 2 for 2 and a Drake for G2 Hell.
That is a very questionable outcome, to be honest, for other teams, but especially for the team of GO Aurora, because that was not the fight that went right for them, especially in the sense that G2 Hell were in their comfort zone in this fight. They were fighting back and forth, and then having Lysia on a very, very good flank onto Aurora, while GO, they are stepping away from their usual comfort zone in this game. We are not really seeing any extra split push from them. Fortunately, Liliana is not going into any static ship shenanigans build for her Seraphine, but that means that GO have to play by G2 Hell's rules, and this is how teams usually lose against G2 Hell.
It's something. Oh, I love the skin. I was just thinking about that. Thank you so much. Look at it. Ooh. All right. And I totally agree with you, Solari. It's a point where G2 Hell has brought themselves such good fortune by getting that lead early game, being so active. I think Columbia Blue is massive. And I believe it's one thing that Jay Real said yesterday, how G2 Hell is now being a much more consistent and successful team just by the sheer level up that all of the players have been doing, and not just, okay, I'm a support, I'm gonna die for the team. So that is incredible for them. And GO Aurora getting to the finals, having the last game 50 minutes. Solari, this is as high competitive as it can be.
Exactly. GO are such a good competitor for G2 Hell, because in the previous game, they had G2 Hell sitting at the very edge of their chairs. I'm pretty sure of that, because the game again was going back and forth, including the base race in the very end of it. If you haven't seen the previous game, I dare you to go and watch it, because it was such a joy to see, but also very nerve-wracking, to be honest. I wonder if the ending of this game is going to be any similar to the previous one, but right now, the biggest difference between the previous game and this one is that G2 are much more in lead compared to GO. They're not giving them any chance to try to bounce back, to try to get their own advantages. The only thing GO have gotten so far was the 2 dragons, but even then they lost the 3rd one for G2 Hell, and right now they might be losing control over the Baron, because look at the amount of blue wards. Columbia is on the warding duties, and she's not letting GO go in and clean any of those.
Definitely not slacking on the war duty and not letting anything slide for the side of GO Aurora. Columbia really has been pivotal on all those team fights, and with the map awareness, as you mentioned, and roaming potential. Sheena coming out here, trying to take the vision from the own jungle of GO Aurora. You get a little snare, goes in, Karina, but there's a lot of damage, and has to pop the ulti immediately. Sana, though, goes in the bot lane along with Lysia. A lot of damage being dealt. Not enough. As you said, Solari, Lysia on the Gwen, this is the point where she can heal. Oh, can you heal being stunned? Yeah, they have to fly away. They have to dash away.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I can't really do that. The Eclipse doing the Eclipse things, but have you seen the second item of Gwen, and then you immediately pivot into the Nashor's Tooth, because this is your power build. Slap someone else on top of that, and you're happy and sad, and nobody can win against you anymore. But Lysia is going with the Shadow Flame. Why is she doing that? Because of the amount of shields available on the side of GO. Even with just Sana. Sana is shielding up because this is Riven. This is one of the things she does. Everybody else, because of Lilian, is going to get massive shields.
I love that. That's a great point. And it's something that we have seen from G2 Hell as well, that I believe the problem ends up being, are we having technical difficulties? Are we still live?
Yes, we are live. We're just having technical difficulties, but let's actually use this time to see what's happening with this game. Because, come on, there is so much happening, and finally we're having a breathing room, so thank you very much for the issues.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for sticking by. And Solari, what I was going to mention is it's such a great choice, as you mentioned, because of the shields. And it's kudos to G2 Hell for having so many of these changes happening in itemization that we've seen all throughout Pathfinders 3. The Callista, going randoms, just things that are really out of the box and showcase what we talked about in the post game with 4x4. They know how to adapt.
All right, we're jumping right back into the fight. What is happening? We're finally getting everything. We're seeing everything, and I'm seeing Columbo dying from Cosmic, who is on the rampage, but Kiana is dying at the same time as well. Very good reset there for Sheena. They're going in. Tifa has to flash away from the enemy. So much damage, but look at Sheena. She's going crazy, and she's going dead. Lysia is on the cleaning duties, potentially. Lilian solo in health. She's trying to get away. Lysia, Guan is immune. Remember that, kids? You can't really fight with her when she's immune, but she's not always immune. She's golden now, so it kind of counts too. She is immune, and that is an ace for Liliana, who was supposed to die from a hand, but in the end, look at GO. We lose them for a second, and all of a sudden, they want to win this game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, we're having technical difficulties on the Solve side right now. This happens, but you know what also happens and doesn't have any difficulties whatsoever? This is the Logitech G, where G is for the dragon. The third dragon for G or Aurora has finally happened, but G2 are not wasting any time. They are on the Baron duties, and they want to make sure that GO know what's happening. The ward has finally been cleared, but GO are already on the top side of the map. The Baron has been stopped. Whew, that would have been crazy if G2 Health suddenly got the Baron in their hands.
I am a little bit disappointed with, technology for just being like, so the moment that Geo Aurora is coming back, we're gonna have you let difficulties, okay? We're gonna have you be in a very, very weird spot, but it's fine. It was just Solari by herself, and we love what Solari does anyway. So we're gonna see here Sana in the bot lane going out for 1v1 for Lysia, but little does she know the rest of G2 Hell is just right there. Can she finish Lysia off before the rest of the team arrives? The answer is no, as she gets shut down by Lysia, and the rest of the team from G2 Hell is already there for the Baron.
But look at that. GO are dancing around the Baron. There is Karina around, killing the wards. Are they going to... No, they cannot start the Baron right now. They are a -1. This is a massive disadvantage. Lydian taking some damage, but dealing a lot in return. But look at that. It's a fight with Kiana. Popping in the Magnet Storm, very defensive this time, trying to protect Lydian. She needs to get away because her health bar is not healthy, and she is shut down for a countess. The fight continues. Kiana is the one jumping over the wall, getting away, and this has to... This has to be the Baron for G2.
Yeah, but most likely will be Columbo Blue getting attacked by Karina. Over the wall goes Lysia. A lot of damage that can come from Cosmic if she positions as well. Has to flash away. Immediate stun coming from Sheena. And Cosmic alongside Kiana are down. Do you have enough time to use your ulti as Carthage? You do. There it is. It's stacking, but it's not enough damage. G2 Hell have been incredible in this team fight. Only person that is left standing is Sana, but I believe she wasn't even in the fight, or what was it happening? But this Baron is just about dead. Tries to go in, Sana, at least the last kills to deny the Baron buff. Maybe just Colombo will be the one taken down.
It's good to take... Oh, Sana, you were so close! You were so close! The ideas, they were all there, but unfortunately didn't actually check the bushes and didn't do it on time. So in the end, this is full Baron buffs for G2 Hell, and yes, Sana was not in the fight. I believe Sana has just resurrected by the time the fight was coming to an end. What an unfortunate case for GO, because right now, before that, they had some chances of bouncing back. Right now, these chances are so damn slim, which is most unfortunate. There is 6k behind G2 Hell right now. There are Baron behind G2 Hell right now. They are behind on the map right now, and in just 2 minutes from now, they might be one more dragon behind. So I believe we need to have some more technical difficulties and disconnect, because it looks like you are only winning in this game, the fights, when we are disconnected.
I mean, is it worth it? I think it might be worth it to give this series a Game 3 opportunity. I think it might be worth it, Solari. But I agree with you, but at the same time, G2 Hell... Although, wait, that was a flash. That was a regular flash. That wasn't a hex stack flash. But Lysia is in trouble. 2 people, Cosmic and Karina, going on her. And the Gwen is going to try to mitigate some of that damage. Is it enough? She's healing back. The redemption hits. What in the world? And a 1v2 taken by G2 Hell's Lysia, as the rest of the team is taking the mid lane. Impressive, Solari.
Hey, I love Lysia so much. I love Color Bubbles so much as well because that hook on Lilian just hit. That was a beautiful encore right there, but it wasn't enough to save her. Now Sheena is running around with as a cute girl with pink hair, and we approve of those, you know. It's not going to be for long though, just like Lysia. It's not going to be alive for long. Finally, a shutdown. Sana more like smash it, but smashing it. Oh, G to hell right now. This inhibitor on the mid lane. This might just be game over, Soph.
Is it game over, Solari? They are all in here with the Baron. Kiana taking so much damage, so is the turret. They try to come in and the Senna can't do anything. Support is also down. This is the luck of the winners, the reigning champions that could be coming back to Pathfinders. 3 times reigning champions G2 Hell conquer our Pathfinders 3 crown once again.
This is the triple crown for G2 Hell in the end. They came into the first Pathfinder, smashed it, ate it, left no crumbs. They came into the second Pathfinders. They were like, hey, you know what? We're gonna do it again. And they come to the third Pathfinders, 3rd time in a row, 3rd time's a charm. They say yes, say G2 Hell in return, and they raise their hells and they win the tournament yet again. My goodness, huge congratulations for G2 Hell. The fan favorites, the tournament favorites are here to prove why exactly they deserve everything and more.